15-minute cities don't seem bad to me. And then hear me out. I don't like to drive. And I don't like to commute. If I can just walk 15 minutes and get whatever I need for the day, like that's the longest I have to walk, that's great. The problem with 15-minute cities is, this is my problem, is not being able to leave. So basically you're in prison. I don't like that aspect of being told I can't leave. I don't mind being in a small space. I don't need a bunch of shit. I don't want to be in too closed of a space, but I don't mind having a little space. Like I said, I don't need a mansion. I don't need a huge house. I'm in the process of trying to get rid of shit and being more minimalistic. Because if you have more stuff, you're like a slave to that stuff. Whether it's providing security or a place for it to be, or paying on that stuff until it's paid off. So, I don't mind the whole aspect of that, the 15-minute cities. I think that it is good to have a currency that we can keep track of every transaction of everybody. That's good. However, it shouldn't be able to be shut down because I say something they don't like. I don't like the whole taking away my freedom to speech. I don't like that aspect. Yeah, I would rather live in a damn city where everything's done for me, whether it's robots or I'm having to pay other humans to do it for me, than in the damn country where I gotta do everything myself. But I want to have the freedom to be able to go out in nature when I want to. I don't want to be told I have to take this injection. I don't like the control. And I understand we need a certain amount of control. Humans do. I think that there needs to be some certain type of authority where people have to abide by and respect. But I don't like this fascistic type of control that these people who are extremely wealthy are trying to do. YouTube doesn't like to allow people to say certain things. They don't like YouTube to, this is why YouTube is about your channel. And what YouTube is trying to do is become like cable. That's what they want to be like. When it's supposed to be about the individual creator, the individual channel. If you don't like the channel, then turn it. As long as they ain't breaking any laws, leave it alone. You could put an adult They already have it where you have to, when you upload videos, if it's for kids restricted, if it's restricted for kids or whatever, separate. They have rated R movies, like mature games. Adults don't, well, it's changing with the youth, but I like adult content. I'm an adult. There's certain places where kids shouldn't be allowed, and adults shouldn't be able to interact with these kids. I think that's why I don't like to play online games, because I don't want nothing to do with any underage person. I'm an adult. I have no reason to. But with everything happening with the extreme left, who has control over everything, they've had control over the government. They have control over the deep state, the mainstream media, Hollywood, universities. They got control over everything. And you can see where the left ideology has led these major cities. It's left them to ruins. So why should I trust these people? I don't trust these people. I don't want to live in a farm where I have to do everything myself. I don't want to go back to the 1800s. If I wanted to be in the 1800s, I'd just be Amish. I like the progression of technology, and this is where I'm looking at people who are like Alex Jones or right-leaning people, and they act like they're so against technology, but they continue to use it. I like technology. I don't want to plow a field myself. I like a robot being able to plow it. I like being able to spend my time doing something else than plowing a field all day. You know, with all these recent, and I know it's social media, so things get spread really quick, but when you see like these balloons popping up, it's like a distraction. And then you see at the same time you're having massive chemical spills in red states. But we had one in Ohio, which the mainstream media doesn't want to report on. A major one. We had one in Michigan. I think there was a chemical fire in Florida. One truck overturned in Arizona. Man, it looks like a blatant attack. And I think that 2020 was an attack. And I think that 2021 was an attack. And what it looks like to me is they want to call people. The calling. They want to call people. That's what it looks like to me. Because You have so many people that are reliant on welfare, whether it's like food stamps, Section 8 housing, Medicare, Medicaid, and soon these programs aren't going to be paid for anymore. We're not going to be able to sustain the system. We need multiple layers of currencies. We don't need just one currency. We need multiple currencies that you can easily move in and out of. That's what we need. We don't need centralized control. We need decentralized control. Like Elon said, like when he had a Zoom meeting with the WEF, and he said, when you have civilizations that have meltdowns, that have collapses, and everything in the whole world is riding on that civilization, what happens if it fails? Everything else fails. Same things for corporations. There shouldn't be major corporations, because if that centralized power fails, so does everything, and everybody gets affected and screwed over. That's why we need not huge corporations. We need tons of small, little, tiny, small businesses or corporations, whatever. So if I'm selling something, I'm making brake pads, and I have internal failure in my company, and the company goes under, or there's shipping problems, there's management problems, and people can't get brake pads anymore because there's only my company, or there's a huge, long wait for these brake pads, it affects everybody. But if you have a bunch of different little businesses that make brake pads, if my business fails, or there's a problem in my business, it doesn't affect the commerce. It doesn't affect supply, because other people are making it. Other companies are making it. It's just ridiculous what these people are thinking, man. It's nice to have everything in one spot where you don't have to think. But Elon's monopolizing. I mean, he is monopolizing. And I like what he says, man. But do you think I trust him all the way? No. Just same thing as Trump. Do you think I trust him all the way? No. In fact, I'm kind of like annoyed by him at this point. I'm kind of like, as a voter, turned off by him. He don't have that same like energy. He's still on Truth Social. I don't fucking care about Truth Social. Truth Social could take a fucking flying fucking leap. Like off a cliff. Who cares about Truth Social? It's a joke. He refuses to join Twitter because of his ego. And that's the problem. If you want to be able to move well in this, where we're headed, you want to be able to control your ego. If you can't control your ego and your emotions, you're going to have big problems. Whatever that may be. I don't know. I think that we're going to go through hard times. I think we're already going through hard times. Other places are going to be worse than some other places, but standard of living is going to go down. We don't have robots to replace us yet, to do the work. So we can't go into communism. We can't have a universal based income because you rely on other people. You rely on people as slaves, as taxpayers. I think Mexico is going to be huge going forward. You know, we're over here spending $200 billion on Ukraine. And we're doing nothing to fight the cartels in Mexico and Central America. We're doing nothing. Nothing. And that's where all the drugs comes in. Why not eliminate the drug cartels? They can't just drone them. We got all these satellites and we can track people, and they can't just... So that tells me that they're working with them. That tells me that they want the drugs to come in. That's what that tells me. Do I have any proof of this? No. We spend all of our time worrying about other countries that have nothing that, you know, like okay, we're using our taxpayer dollars to police the trade routes with our Navy. We are America. We're spending our money to do that. Instead of having the jobs here, the jobs in Mexico, the jobs in Central America and Canada, South America, we want to police trade routes, ship things back and forth across the ocean, causing carbon problems. When we get us manufacture it on the lands over here, people would have lots of jobs in Central and South America. They wouldn't want to try to come to America illegally. They love their country. They come here and they fly their country's flag. They don't want to leave their country. It doesn't make any sense to have all these manufacturing jobs in China. Look what they just did. They just shut down. Now that's going to cause a problem with shipping. They shut down because of COVID. Again, for no reason. And that's going to cause a supply problem. You still have demand, but you're going to have a supply problem. Whatever they supply. Because they shut things down for a period of time. Well, if you could have some jobs over there, that's cool. But you need to have a lot of the jobs over here on this land, on this continent, on the continent below us. Well, the video's out. Take it easy.